Hi, Leo. This is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I am in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. Which way do I want that? No, I want it this way. If you've been here before, welcome back. You know what I normally do is let flip fly fall anywhere from 5 to 7 tarot cards and then clarify with various oracle decks. So, if you're new, welcome. If you're new back, or welcome back. Oh, God, I can't talk all of a sudden. You know what I'm trying to say. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Blah, 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 blah. Lord knows how this one is going to go. You guys are all tongue-tied about something. All right, let's see what we got here. So far, we have the Princess of Wands, Two of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Princess of Cups in reverse. Let me think about this. It feels like maybe you have met somebody new. The feeling I am getting right now is you have met somebody new. But you're not sure if you want to move forward with them or not. And it's kind of like, the feeling I'm getting is kind of like, something feels like it's off. And like maybe vibrationally you guys are not on the same page. And it's kind of like, this is in the Seven of Pentacles is in the reverse position. So it feels like, you know, you're in your head, you're like, you know what? I've planted my seeds. And I should be, what it feels like is like I've planted my seeds to get a good person in my life. And the feeling is, I'm not sure I want this one. This feels like a rotten coconut to me. So I'm thinking I might have to put it back. Okay, and that's okay. I mean, you know what? You don't have to take every person that comes along and says that they want to be in a relationship with you, but it's just definitely feels like something is really, really off. In the Princess of Cups, it's like, and I feel like it's like you can't put your finger on it. It's like something is off, but you can't quite put your finger on it with this relationship. Something's out of balance. The Justice card came up in the reverse position. Something is out of balance. Something is off balance. Something is just not right with this person that has showed up in your life. Okay, so yeah, it's like your spidey senses are kind of like going, something's off, and you just can't figure out what exactly is off about this person. Okay, so let's get one more. Well, there's two. Okay. So Nine of Cups is, so this came up in reverse. So if the Nine of Cups was in the upright position, this would be someone that's sitting pretty, in a good place in life, but it's in reverse. And I feel like what I'm getting is this person is telling you everything's all peachy and they're making it sound like they've got their shit together, but there's little things that keep popping up that make you go, if he had his shit together, that wouldn't be happening, you know? But it's like ever so slight. Four of Pentacles, maybe it has something to do with money. Maybe, okay, so the feeling is like, I feel like I'm hearing flashy with his money. He's being a little too flashy with his money, like he's, okay, this is what I'm hearing. Okay, so hopefully I don't offend anybody when I say this, but you know what? What comes through, comes through. You know how a lot of times there are Christians out there that have to just continually remind you, I'm a Christian, and it makes you more skeptical than anything about him? Just show us your actions. You don't need to tell us that you're a Christian all the time. And I want to address the cross that I wear. I've had a couple of people ask me about this. My mom gave me that before she died. I wear my cross every day because it reminds me of my mom and it makes me feel safe. Do I consider myself a Christian? Not necessarily. I do not run around going, I'm a Christian, I'm a Bible thumper. I am none of that. Trust me. It's the same thing with this Four of Pentacles. It feels like this person drives a fancy car, has the fancy watches, he's flashing his stuff around all over the place, and he's trying a little too hard to make it look like he's really in the money and he's got his stuff together. And because of that, it's making you go, he probably broke. He probably in credit card debt up to his ears. He probably, oh God, there's a song out there. And the guy's going, she don't have no cable. Something about, she ain't got no Netflix. She ain't got no couch. I can't even remember the name of the song, but whenever I hear that, it always makes me laugh because he likes her. She's not trying to impress anybody. She doesn't have anything. She doesn't have cable. She doesn't have this. She doesn't have this. He goes, but it makes it sound like there's something about her that he really likes. And in this case, this person is like the opposite. And it feels like a guy, very much like a guy, trying to really show off about how he's got everything all together, and it's like he's trying too hard. So that's the feeling, that's what your spidey senses are going off about, is he's trying a little too hard to make it look like he's got everything together, which is probably true. Okay. Peaceful came up in the... Okay, these are feelings that you guys are feeling. So calm, serene, centered. How does that come in? Okay, let me think about it. Let me think about this. How does that play into what just came up? Peaceful. How are you feeling peaceful? Okay. So you're kind of like, all right, you're at peace about this whole thing because you're not attached to the outcome. It's like, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to let this play out the way it plays out. I'm not going to get bent out of shape. It'll all prove itself in the end. If he proves that he is in the money and he has everything that he has, then great. And if I find out what I think I have, that he doesn't have anything and that he is just flaunting that and he's full of crap, you're fine with that too. Okay, so that's the feeling. It's like you're very at peace about however this goes. You have learned some very valuable lessons in the past about the people that you have let into your life. Is actions speak louder than words. And you just let it play out the way it's going to play out. Instead of like meeting somebody and going, oh my God, I'm going to marry them, 2 weeks after, you're like, yeah, that's never worked out the way it was supposed to. And then, 2 months down the road, this started popping up. So you no longer get attached to the ending. You're just going to let it play out. Disappointed. It's kind of like you've been disappointed and disillusioned and let down in the past. And you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to let this play out the way it plays out. Even you'll be lonely or be alone before you're going to be embarrassed about getting yourself into like a bad relationship. It's like, I feel like this is all stuff in the past. It's like you have learned some really, really good lessons in the past from people that you have dated. By jumping to conclusions. So I feel like that's one of the things that you're doing. It's like, you know what? This is the feeling that I'm getting, but I'm not going to judge. Okay, this just flipped out. I'm not going to get excited. That's in the reverse position. I'm not going to get excited. I'm not going to judge. I'm just going to let this play out the way it's going to play out and see where it takes me. And I'm not going to be attached to the ending. So that's the best way to do it. Because as someone who has I dated off and on my whole life, especially when I was younger, I'd meet somebody and I was like in my head married to him or whatever. You know, I'm like, like when I say I was messed up when I was younger, I don't want any of those. I was very messed up when it came to dating and relationships when I was younger. Very messed up. So I totally get, you know, do I want any of these? Relieved. You are relieved that you no longer get yourself into these positions. Frustrated, and you don't get frustrated about these dating things. It's just kind of like, my friend Timmy is not a Libra, but this feels very much like her relationship stuff now. And my stuff now. It's like somebody comes into my life and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to see how this plays out. They might be here in 2 weeks. They might be here in 2 months. They might be here in 2 years, and they might not. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I want to do romance angels on this one. Let's see who this person is. I'm at 11 minutes. We got plenty of time. Who is this person that you are being... Those are way too many. Who is this person you are being somewhat cautious about and just kind of letting things play out? Who is this person to you? Who is this person? Who is this person? I want this one. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. I feel like you are. You are trusting that this is going to play out exactly how it's supposed to play out. You are not attached to the ending. You trust yourself. You trust your spidey senses. If you feel like there's something off, you're a little bit cautious. You're not jumping in headfirst into anything. You're not going to be running off to Las Vegas and getting married in 2 weeks, which, oh, never mind. I'm not even going to tell that story. No, I am going to tell that story because it's funny. I met... And nobody that I know of is a Leo that's going to be watching this. The first person that asked me to do a reading from my YouTube channel was a guy that lived in Arizona. And we hit it off like immediately. Like we had known each other forever. And we were talking like every day by text and talking on the phone. And I mean, it was just like one of those bonds that just happened immediately. And I had talked to my brother, and I had made a comment. I was like, some of my friends were joking about not running off to Las Vegas and getting married and everything because we had hit it off so well. And my brother looks at me, which is very true. And he looks at me and goes, "You're 54 and you've never been married. I highly doubt you're going to be running off to Las Vegas and getting married." And I was like, I can be spontaneous, but I really can't. Not like that. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking steps you're guided to take. And I feel like you have figured that out. You're going to it's just like take one step at a time. Let one event happen at a time. Let one experience happen at a time, and just like follow the yellow brick road instead of trying to get in a like instant relationship or whatever. You're just like, I'm just going to let this play out the way it's supposed to play out. And I just want to say good for you, because if you were like me, this has been a hard process to learn. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you. Now, again, vibrationally, you have attracted this person in. So there's something vibrationally that you guys are vibing on the same thing. Okay, so this is what I'm hearing is, if you think this other person is wearing a mask and pretending to be somebody they are not, and you vibrationally attracted them in, that means that you are doing something that is that you're doing something yourself, that maybe you're wearing a mask too and not being completely authentic in who you are. So think about that. We attract into our lives the people that are similar to us. If he was a bazillionaire and you were a pauper on the street, it is highly unlikely that you guys would be vibrationally the same and attracting each other. So if this person that has come into your life is being a little flashy and trying to show his worth off by his material things, stop and think, are you doing anything similar to that? Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit and fun to shine. I feel like that's just saying, just have fun with this. This person may not be here in 2 months or 6 months. But you know what? If you go to the movies and have a good time, enjoy the time that you have with him. Enjoy any experiences that you have with him, good and bad. It's probably all here to learn a lesson. Whew! One more. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. This could be you and that person doing that, spending more quality time together. So what I feel like that is saying is, make sure that you take time to get to know them. Make sure you're not judging them harshly for something they are doing. Make sure you understand why they are doing what they are doing. Maybe they really like you, and maybe they are really trying to impress you, and maybe they've got a little bit of self-esteem issues and they are worried that you wouldn't like them for who they really are. That happens a lot. I mean, God, that happens a lot. So don't beat yourself up about that. Let's do one more. Nope. We're calling for these. These are Oracle Mermaid cards. This is any last information that the universe wants to tell you about this relationship. Any last words that the universe wants to tell you about this relationship, where you've been, where you're going. I feel like they are saying, we're very proud of you. You've come a long way. And I feel like you're just being tweaked even more. Tweaked to perfection, if that's possible. I mean, as I say, we are all perfect in our imperfection. We came down here to learn lessons. You're exactly perfect where you're at, whether you believe you are or not. So I feel like I want that one. Colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. Coral's wisdom. So that kind of goes along with, I feel like what I just said is, you have come a long way. It has taken you a while to get from where you were to where you are and where you are going. It doesn't happen overnight. And, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So you're on track, you're on schedule, you're exactly where you need to be. Just take it one day at a time. I feel like I want this one. Honor the masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. I think that kind of goes along with what I said. If this is a guy who's being a little flashy with his stuff, it could be because he is trying to impress you. Maybe he really likes you, and he thinks his old programming has told him that women are looking for a man that can support, that they can be supported by. So he's working on some old programming. Give him a break. I feel like even though you're really skeptical about this person, I feel like he's not as bad as you think he is. I feel like there's probably a better reason if you get to know him down deep inside. you are going to learn that he is a better person than maybe you think he is. And there's just this feeling like he's trying a little too hard because maybe he's got some self-esteem issues, which we all do. And don't be so hard on him. Get to know him. I feel like that's really, really important here, is get to know him deep down inside before you cut him loose. I want the top one. The return to Aphrodite temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, treating as sacred. So I think that's, a lot of the readings that I've been doing like these goddess readings. So I feel like that's saying that you are getting into your goddess power and he is getting into his God power, his divine masculine power, as you are getting into your divine feminine power. Both of you may be growing at the same time, and you guys can work together to better each other and get into power and help each other. There's this feeling of like you and this person are going to help each other, elevate each other. This could very well be a twin flame relationship too. This could very well be a twin flame relationship, because that is the whole purpose of twin flames, is to elevate each other to their goddess and God power, their emperor and empress power. Okay. All right, let's get one more and then we'll be done. One more. Is there anything else? Telepathy. Non-verbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading. How does that play in? Non-verbal. Oh, okay. Okay. I feel like not so much the telepathy, but it's the non-verbal communication, energetic pulses. That's the stuff that you are feeling. You're feeling the non-verbal communication with him. And okay, I don't know. Something just happened on my phone that made me kind of go, what? Sorry. Distracted me. So pay attention to the non-verbal communication between the two of you, but I also want you to stay out of judgment. I feel like that's very important, to stay out of judgment. Stay out of judgment. That's all I can say. I'm going to get one card. Stop comparing. Apples don't compare themselves to oranges. Stars don't compete with other stars. They know there's room for all to shine in this ever-expanding universe. So, embrace your differences, celebrate your quirks and kinks, bring your fullest expression of self forward, and champion others when they do the same. That kind of goes along with don't judge. So, that's it. I will see you guys for the May 1st reading. Have a good rest of the month. Later.